What's that? I don't. Oh my God, how you doing, Dale? Catch up with you when things quiet down and see what's going on, you know. I miss seeing you at Nearfest because I'm here and I'm there and I know you're there too.
Well, I was there last time. Anyway,
yep, the only Skowhegan on Earth. Okay, very good, Dale. God, it's good to hear you. My one OC from W81HLR. I'm gonna just be hanging in here for a little
Timtron.
I'm just not really in the spirit.
He's cranky tonight.
It was really brutal, and I don't have any running water at the moment.
Uh-oh.
Trying to figure out what's
probably a good reason to be cranky. No running water.
Got a lot of stuff back up and online, but it's depressing.
Let's see if I can get in here. I think the other guy's on the East Coast too, though.
Oh, I know. It got down to 18 below last night, and the wind howling. Thank God I didn't lose any power. I have a little lean stove, but there's so much crap piled around it that you have to shovel out around, and it's got plenty of wood lean to use. But that's a goal, is to be able to have that available, because I enjoy lighting that thing off, but the bit of smoke and ash really hard on my wife, so I only used it one season. And that's the story, Dale. Well, I don't know who all's in there. Did your call on your HABJB, so now we're having a contact here on 75.
And 9 AMI. November 9, Alpha Mike India, State of Nevada. Yeah, good evening to you there, Tim. I hear you out here in Nevada. Sorry you're having issues with the frozen pipes. Sounds like it's a real you-know-what show. And I didn't hear the other station too well. Just saying hi from the Silver State, as they say, N9 AMI.
N9 AMI, you're making it the main. Not real strong, but perfectly too strong. I'm the guy with the frozen pipes. Name is Tim. I'm here in Skowhegan, Central Maine.
All right, Tim. Yeah, very good. We've chatted a time or two in the past. Just wanted to say hi. Pretty good signal in here. I'm about 40 miles east of Carson City, out in the high desert out here. So just fired up this BC610, and I'm gonna let it sit for a while, and I'll come back. I'll probably a little bit later when some of the more of the hardcore boys are out with you, if you're still on. Hopefully you get some water there soon. N9 AMI.
All right, very good. Well, good to meet up. Yep, long haul propagation is beginning to reign supreme lately. Oh, I imagine you're hearing 9 AMI. KD7 RIX. John, are you hearing Paul? Always calls 993 VJB.
Yeah, I can tell Paul's in there, but he's not as good as you there, Tim. Just a little light on the audio there. It's a little tough. Sorry about that, Paul. Back to you, Tim.
That's the way it goes. I need more power. Thanks for trying. I'll tell it as a half a pound.
Hey, I heard you that time. So it's just band conditions. That's all it is, Paul.
Thanks for letting me on the website here today. I'm international. I was one of the first handful of people to sign up for it. I wish you the best of success there in the organization there. Super senior. That's the transmitter. The receiver is an ITT McKay for your contest entry launch up there. Location Annapolis to Capital Maryland. Did you know?
Okay, very good, very good. I don't even have anything in front of me. I wasn't even logging you, but I'll throw it in there. BC610H here, R388 on the receiver, 1,300 foot, oh no, I take that back, I'm on the vertical. 66 foot quarter wave vertical for this band, and that's the setup here. Back to you, Paul. Yeah, very good. Yeah, I hope to have a longer QSO when maybe we're a little bit closer if I'm down in the southeast and get the station set up down when I'm down there. So, yeah, buddy, take care and catch you on the internet, I guess, as they say. N9 AMI.
7 people.
Okay, I don't have the frequency, but I'll grab it. Whiskey 1 something Charlie. Go ahead.
Whiskey 1 Old Crow. I have all your information with the transport.
Okay, Whiskey 1 Oscar Charlie, N9 AMI. Very good. Yep, I hear you. No problem. Where you at? Okay, roger, roger. No problem at all. Very good. Well, glad to have worked you. And Tim's the channel master here, so I'm going to send it back to him. I don't want a Budinsky on here. And I'll be around. Another hour and a half. I'll fire up and see what's happening here. I'm going to go take a little break, and maybe some of you guys will be out later. and conditions will be even better. N9 AMI.
Logan SLR and the Group K7 Peter.
Son, Arizona, Dean WA1KNX, but he passed away some years ago. And I always enjoyed getting on here and working long haul on AM on 75, and that was a good reason why I was able to get this antenna system up. I'm learning parts there. So there you go. I'm gonna just fall into the background here. So, this story, and there's a number of people here in the East that I'm hearing. So turn it over to you, and I'm just gonna listen in here. WA3VJB from WA1HLR.
You know, that's what's fun about the whole deal, man. You can't never tell what some of these guys might be running for a homebrew station, and you know what's sad is a lot of the guys don't know that the AM rally's going on, and if they did, there'd probably be a lot more of them in here. But Logan sounds great. I presume that you're on the Harvey Wells, and man, that thing sounds great up here. So have fun, man. I'm gonna sit back and listen. K5IE.
Fred, thanks for dropping in. Appreciate it. Sounding good as always. And I guess we'll try to be ready on out. You're out there tomorrow afternoon. We'll probably be out here. And I know KIKTV is trying to get me. KIKTV. Charlie, try it again, sir. KIKTV. Charlie, come back again. Alright, Charlie, I can't hear you. We'll have to get you later. CQ3880, CQ3880. November Echo 5 Tango X-Ray. November Echo 5 Tango X-Ray. Calling CQ.
And 9 AMI.
CQ3880, CQ3880. November Echo 5 Tango X-Ray. November Echo 5 Tango X-Ray. Calling CQ.
November Echo 5 Tango X-Ray, N9 AMI. N9 AMI, John in Nevada.
Okay, I got the Nevada station,
Nevada.
Come back when you have your call sign, please.
Okay, very good. The call is November 9 Alpha Mike India, N9 AMI. How copy?
You said N9 AMI, is that correct?
Roger, you got it right there. I'm in Silver Springs, Nevada. Silver Springs, Nevada. Back to you.
Gotcha, Silver Springs, Nevada. Alright, I'm talking to you on a Harvey Wells 50D. Listening on a Hamlin SD600 receiver with a bazooka at about 40 feet there, QSL. My name is David in Mount Bellevue, Texas.
All fine business there, David. Good on the Harvey Wells. Sounds nice. Sounds very nice. I'm using a BC610. BC610 receiver's an R388 Collins. And I'm about 350 watts or so here. Antenna is a 66-foot vertical quarter wave for 75-80 meters here. So back to you, David.
Alright, corner. I need to get that rascal on the air. But your BC610 is sounding good from Nevada here in Texas. N9 AMI NE5TX 73.
Okay, NE5TX and 9AMI. Thank you for the hello and the contact, and have fun working stations out there. We'll catch you again at 9AMI.
Alright, man, you're beaming in here now. Signal came way up. Sounds good. CQ 3880, November Echo 5, Tango X-Ray.
It's an F model. Well, it came in a case. I got it off eBay out of California. It's an F model it came in a regular Thomas case. It's a winged emblem. The one I'm using is a round emblem. Go ahead.
3875. The band's real long. I just talked to a guy in Texas, and trying to stay out of his way. So he's on 80, I'm on 75. We should be fine. So this is the BC610 behind me, H version, which is a little bit after World War II. R388 Collins receiver, SP600 JX17 version. And I do have the BC348, but there's sidebanders around, and this thing is wide as a barn. I'm just leaving it off. It is nice for when the band is just wide open, which it is long, but there's sidewinders, so it's a little rough. So I'll use a 388 for now, go from there. Call CQ for a little bit, see what happens, and that's that. CQ 75 AM, CQ 75 AM, CQ 75 AM, 3875. This is N9 AMI. November 9, Alpha Mike India, operating from Silver Springs, Nevada. Calling CQ 75 AM. CQ 75 AM and 9 AMI.
November 9 AMI. November 9 AMI. This is Kilo Delta 7, radio Italy X-ray, over.
KD7RIX, what's happening there? Good signal. As you should be, I think you're West Coast. I've heard you before on a couple of the nets. Name here is John, and I don't know if we officially talked. Maybe we have, I don't know. But I'll throw it back to you, see how the copy is. KD7RIX and 9AMI.
N9 AMI, this is KD7RIX. No, I don't think we've ever talked before, because I think this is really about the second time I've had this transmitter on the air. But not quite West Coast. I'm actually in Arizona, Snowflake, Arizona. And you've got a fantastic signal over here, nice and strong and very clean this evening. I've been trying to get some contacts for the AM rallies, and having a bit of luck, but good to make your acquaintance this evening. Back over to you, John. By the way, the name on this end is Matt, Mike Alpha Tango Tango. Over to you.
Okay, KD7RIX and 9AMI. I do like that call too. Radio India X-ray kind of rolls nice. That's good. Good to make your acquaintance there, Matt. Yeah, I've heard you on. I think I've heard you check into Wednesday night AMI or maybe Monday night, and we just never, link up. Of course, when you're on the net like that, unless you're sticking for the after show, that's about it. Hello, goodbye, and out the door. But whatever, that transmitter sounds good. No problem here, strong signal. And of course you can jot me down for the rally. This is the BC610H model here, R388 on the receiver. And I'm on the quarter wave vertical, 66-foot tall vertical for antenna here. That's the deal. So, well, hopefully you've had some pretty good luck. Did you get the chance to go up on 10 meters AM earlier today? because that was a pretty good. A lot of QSV, but it wasn't bad. I mean, you could still make contacts. I think the best way was to just lock in on a frequency and call CQ and just let them come to you instead of doing the search mode, search and destroy. But anyway, I send it back to you, Matt. KD7RIX at 9 AMI.
N9AMI, this is KD7RIX. Yeah, I heard about 10 meters being open with a lot of AM today. This thing here, you're going to take some fancy footwork to get this thing up on 10 meters. The highest I've gotten it to operate is on 15, and it takes a lot of drive to the grid to
What's he running?
check. It doesn't have any neutralizing to it, so you've got to kind of beat the oscillations out of it, if you will. Down on 20 it does okay, and on down I've got it set up to run 160 through 20 right now, but yeah, supposedly the transmitter can be configured somehow or another to run all the way up to 30 megs, but like I said, that would take some fancy footwork, and I'm not exactly sure how they would have pulled that off. But yeah, all the leads in it are really long. But yeah, I've never checked into a net with this. I've had it on the air a handful of times, and just recently got it working again. But yeah, it's been fun this evening. And like I said, I was talking to a couple of guys that were saying that 10 meters is awesome. And I've got a neighbor that plays around on CD there, and he actually worked New Zealand long path the other day with a legitimate legal CD as it were. I just feel like, yeah, no, that didn't go the short way around. It went the long way around.
You got somebody throwing a carrier on this guy.
Yeah, we made it with some other temperature after that. I explained to him about QSO cards. You know, like, yeah, I'm kind of new to the AM thing. Well, new to talking up here. I'm more of a builder than a talker. But, yeah, that's neat. Anyway, N9AMI, this is KD7RIX. Back over to you, John.
Okay, KD7RIX and 9AMI. You know, I'm having a brain freeze here. What transmitter are you using? Give me a replay on that, just because I'm real interested now. Back to you.
What was that question? There we go. Okay, what was that question? My hearing is not the greatest, and I'm not sure what you just asked me. What am I running?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was asking. I don't. Like I said, I'm not a senior, but getting close, senior moment, I guess. I don't recall what transmitter you were running there, a homebrew or something like that. Give me the quick rundown on that sucker again, there, Matt. KD7RIX and 9AMI.
Okay, yeah, N9AMI. This is KD7RIX. Yeah, no, it's a Bauer 707.
Got it.
AM broadcast transmitter retired. Got it converted over to run on AM radio.
That's what I want.
But apparently it was available as a kit, and you could reconfigure it to run up on the shortwave somehow or another. Or at least I can recall reading that somewhere. I'm driving the grids in it directly with actually an FT897 that I'm using basically as a VFO to run it. So I've eliminated the crystal oscillator circuit, and I just drive the grids directly with the transceiver, and I can just set the power to get the appropriate grid current. The modulator section is untouched. It's basically original. The receiver on this end is a FT897. I tripped on my tongue. It is an FT767. And the way I had it set up originally, which turned out to be kind of problematic, was the 767 I was using as both the receiver and the VFO. But I'm going to have to do some work with switching or whatever, because when I did that, it would get into like a self-oscillation where the output of the transmitter would drive the grid through the transmission. Very bad loop was going on, so I had to separate it, drive the grids with one and listen with another. But I think a little more work with relays and timing, and I could get it to work with just one radio where they would track. Right now, I've got it set to transmit frequency and a receive frequency separate, just like the separate transmitter and receivers. If I could get that switching to work properly and to get it to isolate right, it would operate just like a regular transceiver, with the exception of having to walk across the room and turn it off whenever I feel like doing it. That's basically the setup here. The antenna is an 80-40 parallel dipole up at about 60 feet, and set up like an inverted V. Nothing too special, and I'm running that through a homebrew antenna tuner that's basically running at its limit right now. I'm going to have to come up with something that can handle a little bit more voltage. Every once in a while it'll arc on voice peaks, that's probably not the greatest for it. But, okay. Anyway, N9AMI, this is KD7RIX, back over to you, John.
Whiskey 7 Echo Victor.
Okay, Echo Victor, heard you in there, recognized. Cool, Matt. Well, yep, I'm fairly familiar with the 707. Actually, I'm kind of after one, and I'll just leave it at that. See if it ever happens, but I know the history on them. A buddy of mine, W6GY Gary up in Idaho, he's got one that he's running. And in fact, he's just running it on the nighttime power setting. And I'm assuming you're running daytime power, but you don't have to say if you don't want to, because that's where I would be running it. Why bother? But anyway, sounds good. Sounds really good, and you did her up nice. And I think that the way you're running it is a good way to do it, and you can be a little agile with that sort of thing to a certain point. So all I'm interested in is when I get something like that again is just 75 meters is fine. That's it. But I probably will remote it into this building and leave it in the garage. But it just depends on what I get and what the weight of it is. The floor will withstand it, but I probably got to put some bracing underneath here. There's like a bomb shelter underneath this thing. And it would be cool to put it down there, but it's pretty deep, and it would probably never come out again, put it that way. So, but very cool, man. I like it. I like it. That's. I was just thinking that when you were saying that about what you're driving with 897, I saw, I got this. I could rig up this Anon 100 real nice for one of those, and use it for the receiver also. That would be a pretty sweet setup, but it sounds like you got it figured out pretty good there. Okay, I'm going to send it back to you, and there's another gentleman in there that wants to pop in probably, but I'll send it back to you, Matt. KD7RIX and 9AMI.
Alrighty, yeah, thanks, John. No, I'm running about 350 watts per carrier right now. About 340, close enough. No, I moved the tap down one spot from the plate transformer to give it a little bit more than the 250. And it's got adjustable power level, so if you turn that up and you have the tap moved, it'll do just barely shy of legal limit.
I'd be doing a kilowatt.
Just running 250.
Come on.
Anyway, thanks, John. 73, it's been wonderful talking to you, and hopefully we'll catch you out here again pretty soon. KD7RIX, and thanks again. We're clear.
Okay, buddy. Yeah, and we a few of us get on Friday nights on 3885 around. Let's see, you'd be same time as me. No, 6 o'clock your time, 7 o'clock, and shoot the breeze. So welcome to come on and shoot the breeze with the group here. And it's just a small group, and we have a lot of fun, not necessarily a radio spec kind of deal. So take it easy. Okay, there's another station on there. Go ahead. N9AMI, Silver Springs, Nevada.
N9AMI, Whiskey 7 Echo Victor here in Dakota, Oregon, northwest part of Oregon, about 28 miles northwest of Portland. And I've been trying to get make contact on this AM rally. And it's really the first one. I'm not having a lot of luck. Over.
W7EV and 9AMI. Well, your luck has just changed, I guess. So you probably can write down Matt there if you heard him with all his information, and myself. I'll give you my quick rundown here. Name is John, and located in Silver Springs, Nevada, which is approximately 40 miles east of Carson City, pretty close to the Top Gun Naval Air Station. And waved a Maverick once in a while. And the transmitter is a BC610H here, about 350 watts AM carrier. The receiver is a R388 Collins receiver, and the antenna is a 66-foot vertical quarter wave for 75 meters right here. It's kind of spec'd out for it. So that's the setup here. What are you running there? And then you're legit. I'll put you down and on my log and go from there, buddy. W7EV, and no rush, man, no rush at all. I'm just talking to folks. N9AMI.
Okay, John. Yeah, I pulled up your QRZ page, and there are a couple things kind of caught my eye. Did you participate in the Reno Air Races, or is that just a visit there? Over.
Yes and yes. My family, we had a Yak, Russian Yak 3, and flew in that. And we also, at this time, are not participate anymore, but have a Sea Fury that is parked in Florida. And I also was a photographer, aviation photographer, for a lot of that stuff, and videography and all that kind of jazz. So that's why you see a lot of those photos there. If that's the long and short of it, back to you.
Yeah, there's a ham up here out of Tacoma. That I know his call is K7 ORV off-road vehicle, Dave Hyatt. And if you go to his page, it looks like it was probably before your time. It was definitely before my time, but he was partners with a plane called Gotcha, number 9 Gotcha. I don't really know what kind of.
Gotcha.
No, I don't. It looks just like a. I don't know what kind of plane it is. But anyway, you can see that on there. And does that? Are you familiar with that call?
No, I'm not. And if it maybe is a smaller airplane or something, I'm not sure. If it's World War II vintage, that would be a limited class, but there's a bunch of different classes involved with that. Back to you.
Yeah, it kind of does look like a. Kind of does look like a World War II trainer type looking thing.
Trainer.
But anyway.
T28.
Yeah. So, it sounds like you spend a lot of your time on AM. I just
T6.
was doing this kind of just to see if I could do it. There's my primary. I thought you called my primary element is his call sign is Alpha Echo 7 Charlie Juliet. He's like all
John.
over the AM thing. His name's John. He lives about 4 miles from me. Have you ever run into him?
Oh yeah, I've talked to John, 87CJ. In fact, I think he was the first person I worked for official on the rally. But yeah, he's on all the time. He lives on 38, 85 in the Northwest up there, in your guys' neck of the woods. So he's on quite often. Back to you.
Roger. All right. Well, I didn't know what you guys were doing. I didn't hear really talking about the rally, so I didn't really want to butt in. But it seems like people weren't strong enough to fully modulate on my radio. I'm just running a Yaesu FT990, which in the past when I've done AM, if I didn't give it too much mic gain. Reports were decent, and I'm running it into a FL2100B, and my meter says I'm getting about 200 out.
W7EV and 9 AMI. Yeah, well, you're probably fine. Set that up just right. Set it up just right, because that's you probably want to drop down the carrier a little bit. Probably 150 watts would be a little more friendly for that amplifier, because that's got the 572s in it. I think a pair of those. If you run about 150, it'll probably thank you in the future. And just remember, your carrier times 4 is what your watt meter should read on peaks. Okay, so if you're running 200 watts, that would be 4 times 2 is 8. So you should see 800 watts or close to it, or sometimes over that. And that's 100% modulation. So you're probably beating it up pretty good at 800 watt level. So I would kind of bring it down a little bit, and it'll like it a little bit better. That's just my 2 cents. No, you can definitely run it how you want, but it does sound fine. I have no complaints. W7EV. And what's the name there? N9 AMI.
Name here is Eric, Echo, Romeo, India, Charlie. No, hey, I appreciate it. Hey, so it was telling me to do, to not go over a certain, no, 0.2 on the current there, but, so that's what I was thinking with. So now I'm about, it looks like I'm peaking to more 180, and I think I'm probably going to be done after this. I might jump in some more tomorrow, but yeah, so it seems like the AM crowd's not small, but it's, everyone kind of knows everyone. Yeah, I'm going to turn 60 in this year, and I've known him since since I was about 5 or 6. Not continuously. I knew him when I was a kid, because he and his wife were in the same church, but then didn't really connect with him again later until 10, 15 years ago. So anyway, yeah, he worked for what's that, Audio Precision, one of those. I guess they make kind of the industry standard of something or another. But anyway, audio business. All right. Well, hey, John. Well, thanks for picking me up. And yeah, I didn't tell you that I'm just on it's a full extended doubles up. It's about 300 and some odd feet long, about 100 per leg, filled with 450 ohm line, and I'm on this ridge. So I have an advantage. I'm kind of in a geographically decent spot to get out. I seem to get out in here just a tiny bit better than people down below. But anyway, glad I got out there. Did I fully lose you when I dropped it down a little bit? N9 AMI W7EV.
Oh heck no, you're in there. I couldn't even tell any difference. So no problem, Eric. Well, good to make your acquaintance, man. You should show up every. Come on, AM. It sounds fine. Your station's fine. You can hang with everybody else. No problem with that setup. You don't need to be running old vintage tube gear or anything like that. There's plenty of guys running, as they call them, rice boxes and things like that. I've got that here too. I've got one of those Annan Apache Lab deals that sounds pretty good on AM. And usually you just need a little power. Sometimes you get guys that'll come on with just 25 watts, and that's fine if the band's good. But if it's not, if you're fighting other stations and stuff, you just never heard. So what you got there is pretty darn decent, and nothing to cry about, and it's respectable. It's a respectable signal. And so you should be able to get on anytime you want, and Monday nights and Wednesday nights, there's a couple AM international nets you can check into on 3870. There's San Diego ones Monday night, and the bigger one that's kind of more regional. Might some guys in the Northwest check in from it too, as Wednesday nights at what are we doing? Between 7 and 8 o'clock. 7 o'clock usually probably want to be on by. So yeah, man, chime in or come in anytime you hear somebody, and your guys, CJ and all those guys, they're on in the mornings. Although a lot of people are working, you're probably still a working guy, and so very good on the 60. And you got a few years on me yet. I just turned 54, so I'm catching up. I'm not one of the punks anymore, I guess. So that's the deal there. But good to meet you, buddy. And if you ever you've got John to pick his brain, so I'm sure he'll set you straight no matter what there. But the antenna and everything's good, so no complaints whatsoever. W7EV N9 AMI.
All right, John. Yeah, the biggest roadblock is that even though I'm getting old, I started kind of late in the family zone, and so I'm at home full time. My wife is a nurse, and we homeschool. So I've got two 15-year-olds, 14-year-old, and 9-year-old.
He's busy.
So getting on the radio.
He's a busy man.
Consistently, although I do get on consistently, expanding the couple nets that I check into. It's usually well, whatever. I don't need to make excuses. I definitely want to try it at some point. I was curious though, do many people run the old FT101Es or that series successfully on AM?
W7EV and 9AMI. Yeah. Oh yeah. In fact, KA1BWO, Joe, otherwise known as the Italian Stallion of Preston, Idaho. And I hope he's listening. It'll kill him. But anyways, he's got probably the best FT101 I've ever heard. It's broadcast quality audio through it. It's really nice. And I don't think it's anything crazy, just nice microphone and stuff on it like that. But it does sound real good. So yeah, they sound good on there. So if you got one of those, that definitely you can have at it and have some fun with it. Back to you, Eric.
All right. Yeah, I've got. My dad was a ham. I didn't pick it up until I was. Was doing it about since about 2010, and so he passed, and so there's quite it's not like a big valuable treasure trove, but there's some stuff. There's some some couple 101s, and I don't know if the FT or the hot water 101 is worthy of their own.
No, it's not.
I've got some great stuff. Some twins and a transceiver, and I think I've got the SD, or the black TV. My dad really liked using that as a receiver, no matter what. Even if he had a transceiver, it seemed like he liked using the TV on HF. But anyway, all right, well, I'll let you carry on. You're, what, I'm at 9:36, so I don't know if that means you're 10:36 or 11:36.
Same time.
I'll send it back to you, W7EV back to N9 AMI.
Okay, Eric. Yeah, no, same time. We're same time. So 9:35 here. So no problem there. All right. Well, good on all that gear. Yeah, the hot water is not a very good AM transceiver, but nice on vintage sideband. Very nice on vintage sideband. You've got some nice gear. So they got some Drake stuff. Thursday nights, that's the Drake net that I usually get on. I don't have any Drake except the R4C receiver here, but I still get on and say hello to the guys, and it's just loose knit. And Saturday nights, tonight was the vintage Swan net, and I've got a bunch of Swan gear here, so we get on with that stuff and have fun. And Tuesday nights, and you probably know all this, so I don't even know why I'm saying it. Tuesday nights on 3895, and same frequency for those other ones I just mentioned, is the general sideband roundtable, vintage sideband roundtable. Anything 1983 or 80 and older is on there, and you'll hear all kinds of stuff. Some rare stuff too on there occasionally, so it's kind of fun, even if you just tune in and listen to it while you're yelling at the kids. I know 15-year-olds Whoo hoo hoo. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I know what's going on there. So I won't even get into it. But very good. All right, my friend. Good to meet you, and hope to hear you again sometime. And if you ever run into a jam where you want to talk to somebody, shoot me an email. I'm good on QRZ, and I'd be glad to hop on the air and chit-chat with you or troubleshoot or anything like that, whatever you want. And no problem at all. W7EV and 9AMI.
Hey, John, well, that's awesome. Great. You never know, I might actually do that. I'm not quite tech yet. I'm trying to learn, of course, but it takes time. Anyway, all right. Well, you have a great evening and have a fun weekend and participate in the rally if you feel like it.
M9 AMI, this is Louis Alpha Zero Fox Delta Victor, Louis Alpha Zero Fox Delta Victor.
I think it was probably already
Stand by.
sold. Yeah, I think it was about around 6 o'clock, 5:30 or something. But anyway, all right. Well, I'm gonna let you go and call it a contact for the rally. N9 AMI W7EV. I'll be finished.
Okay, RX73T, we'll catch up with you. I'll catch up with you. Okay, WA0FDV and 9AMI. I believe I got the call right. Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening. Good morning, John. I'm 9AMI. This is WA0FDV. We worked on 10 meter AM here about a week ago, I think. Name is John, Juliet Oscar Hotel, November. We're located near Fargo, North Carolina.
Boy, talking too much and the voice is going. Yeah, I remember. WA0FDV and 9AMI. Very cool, man. I'm glad I got to work you on here. Didn't we? I think we had mentioned maybe we'd run into each other, but I talked to a bunch of guys, so it's probably like the standard 73 round back to people. Yeah, maybe I'll catch you on 75. But no, 10's been fun. I'll tell you, it's been a hoot, and the last few days it's been a lot of QSB. But you know, if you're like running around hunting for people calling CQ, you don't get much. But if you sit on a frequency and call CQ, you do get the guys coming to you and you know, working them, and so you can get some stations going. But it's not too long lasting. You don't get too much of a conversation going. I'll send it back to you, John. WA0FDV at 9AMI.
And 9AMI, Nevada, 110FDV. Yeah, very good, John. Good signal in here with the BC610. I'm running the same stuff that I used on 10 with your exception. I'm running a pair of 400s here on 75. I was running a single 400 on 10. I'm running the LMAC AF67, driving the pair of 400s. We're peaking about close to 900 watts out to a horizontal loop, and the receiver is a Collins 51S1.
Okay, well, good on the lineup there. Sounds good. You got a nice transmitter, that's for sure. I'll give you the quick rundown if you don't have it. You probably do, but BC610H. Looks like 342 watts from across the room there on the LP100. And receiving right now on the R388, and the antenna's a quarter wave vertical for this band, 66 foot tall with just a crap load of radials on it, all different lengths. And a D104 microphone. With the 610, I don't use the BC614 speech amp. I use a Johnson Rangers speech amp, and of course all the rectifier tubes and all that are ripped out, taken out. And the VFO, I'm running the Rangers VFO for this thing. It's spot on, and it doesn't take too long to warm up, so it works pretty darn nice. The little modules on the BC610 they work fine on this one, and I have a ton of them, but occasionally there's a little bit of hum, and you know, I don't get any of that running this stuff, so it works better. And just if it works, just leave it alone. That's how I say. Not going to reinvent the wheel that was, you know, 1949 or so when this thing was built. So WA0FDV and 9AMI. Back to you.
And 9AMI, WA0FDV. Okay, fine business. Using the Ranger to drive the BC610 RF and analog. Yeah, I think the T368 superseded that model. I have an exciter unit I use for a VFO on my DX100B. I also have a brand new mod transformer for the T368. Yeah, very good on the 388 and the 60-foot vertical. Well, I shunt fed my tower for a number of years on 160. My 60-foot tower with all I had on it was a 10-meter Yankee for a top hat. Here a couple of years ago, I decided to go with this loop. So I got this big horizontal loop now. It's not as big as the one that you show on your QRZ page. It's 160. I use it on 160, 75, and 40. I was using it on 20 and 15 too for a number of years, but I got up the tri-band around a 30-foot tower in October, so now we just use it for the lower 3 bands. I have a 75A4 on the operating position, a TMC GPR90. I have 2 of these 51S1. Nice receivers. I like them for the calibration, especially on 10 meters. In the past, I've used the 75A4 and the TMC GPR90 for the lower bands, and the 51S1 for the upper bands, particularly 10 and 14. But tonight I brought it down here to use here. I've got the rejection fitting on here with all the QRM on each side of it, and the rejection works pretty good on this thing. It retards your signal a little bit, but it gets rid of the other stuff, so I can still copy a whole lot better. We had a nice day here today. We just started a 10-day warm-up, so I think around 35 today. Been having sunny, balmy days, and today started out cloudy, but it ended up sunny. And so, there you go. Back to you, John, and 9AMI, WA0FDV.
Alright, WA0FDV and 9AMI. Well, the band is nice right now, man, at least between us, that's for sure. It's pretty sweet. Little bit of QSB, but with our power levels, that's not gonna hit us too much. So very good. Yeah, I'm kind of in a little bit of a warm-up cycle here. It's been just damn cold here, and we've had a lot of snow. And usually here, if it snows, it melts same day. But snowed and snowed and snowed multiple times, and it's just been at times a couple nights where it was single digit here, and just kind of brutal. I mean, I can handle it. Grew up in Chicago, lived in St. Paul, Minnesota for a while and all that, but I don't like it at all. It makes me real cranky, John. I'm spoiled because I spent a lot of my time down in South Florida, and I'm just spoiled now, I guess. So what can I say? But it is warming up here. I think it was scratching 50 yesterday and today, and I even hopped on the motorcycle and took it for a little rip because it just needed a little attention. Sitting on the battery tender for a month or so since the last time I cranked it up. And took some pup dogs out for a little hike here down the road, and so it wasn't bad. In a little 10-meter AM action this morning, and I think I hit 15 and 20 for a couple minutes, but I didn't stay on too serious. And this is probably the longest I operated here tonight, and I'm running some video here tonight that I'll put up on YouTube probably tomorrow. But it is from my expensive camera, not the webcam stuff that I usually run. So I'll have to do a little editing on that and clean it up a little bit here and there. but it'll look nice. So it'll be fun. So you'll be on the interweb, John. WA0FDV and 9AMI. Back to you.
And 9AMI, WA0FDV, perfect copy. Is that your P51 that you have a picture of that on the
No. No. No, it's not. That's just a P51 that, let's see, whose was, that's the gold one. Trying to think who owned that. I forget who owned it, but anyways, no, that is not mine. And most of those photos, well, all those photos are taken by me. Most of it at the Reno Air Races, and I do the aviation photographer thing for quite a number of years. Also, back to you.
Okay, Roger, yeah, a P51. I've got a 48 scale, a metal P51 sitting right here in front of me on top of one of the receivers. P51 has the North Dakota Air National Guard stuff on it. We had a couple of guys here in the state, here in the eastern part, that built those planes and refurbished them and so on. I can't remember the guy down at Walker, Gary something. And then there was Bob Odegaard, who was just over here in my area. He kind of specialized in Corsairs. I know they were both from Reno, so you may run across them if you recognize those names. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know who Bob is. And I don't, let's see, Bob, I think he's not with us anymore. He would bring in the Super Corsair, Super Rare Bird. And I've got a bunch of photos of that, and air photos and things like that. And yeah, cool stuff. Love that stuff. And it's unfortunately most of the guys who were super fast and had, I mean, I'll just put it out there, who had the big balls to really crank these things up, are not racing anymore because of number one, the management are a bunch of just idiots, and ever since 911, it's really, and even before that, but 911, it really kind of they canceled it. Everybody was there, and they had to cancel it, of course, which makes sense. But the vendors and stuff were pissed off because they didn't get their money back and everything like that. So it's kind of been kind of a just a hit or miss, and different management changes and stuff like that. And the pilots, were never, most of them were never good with a lot of the management. And now the management is hooked up with just a couple of these pilot guys that they kind of lean towards them when there's some sort of maybe a pylon cut or something like that, and they get the win and the other guy doesn't. It's so people walked away because you're talking $1 million airplanes here with these race engines, and the engines don't last. I mean, you're just pumping so much horsepower through them. It's a rebuild all the time, and a lot of these guys like Tiger DeStefani, who's in my opinion the best and fastest guy out there with his Mustang Strega, we know. He put the plane up for sale, and it's been up for sale for $1 million for quite a while, and he's done racing, and I think he's putting it back to stock. I'm not sure. I think it could still be in race trim, but a lot of other guys also have just put their planes back to stock, and they're flying them into air shows and static displays, and maybe do a little flyby sort of thing, and that, and it's not, of course, the same rush, but it's just not worth it anymore, and because of the hassle that people are going through, and you really never make any money back. It's a rich man's game. You win it. If you won the Reno Air Races Unlimited class, you don't pay the bills. You get the the big, you're the big wig, but you're not paying the bills. You pay for the gas. That's about it. So yeah, but I love it. Anything aviation, sailplanes, which I do, and just general aviation, little putt-putts, Cubs, and champs and all that stuff. It's cool stuff no matter what. The Warbirds is definitely the rich guys game, and you're not just tooling around usually for that $100, well now probably $300 hamburger in your P51 unless you really have a big bank account. Back to you, John. WA0FDV N9AMI.
Okay, John, you went into a phase just when you were starting to talk about why the pilots weren't flying anymore. Do that again.
Okay, not a problem. Essentially, I'll keep it shorter. The management, the RARA or RARA, however you call it, the management at the air races really sucks. Not on a good level with most of the, at least the old school racers. And all these guys just had enough. The guys that are fast anyways, the guys that are running 500 mile an hour and just, really pushing it to the limit and, on the edge of killing themselves, and some have, of course. So they're, it's just not worth it anymore. And to put up with all the BS from the management that they put them through, and so there's all kinds of stories there to get into. We don't have time for, but that's essentially it. And it's just very expensive to do that game, and you're definitely not the pot that you win doesn't really pay for everything that you put into your airplane, especially the super high horsepower tweaked engines and airframes and testing and all that, and rebuilding engines and having a top mechanic from England sitting there to do everything for you and all that kind of jazz. So that's kind of the long short of it there, John. WA0FDV N9AMI.
N9AMI, WA0FDV. Yeah, roger that. When I was off here a few years ago, we did that blue Super Corsair first, and then he did the red one, and he went in with the red one.
Yep.
So he was lost at that time, and so I don't know about the other stuff about Reno there. I have the P51, I have a P38, and the Corsair models here in the shack. Okay, John. It's been fun as always, and we'll look for you on 10 meters. Again, I think I heard you up there today. I spent a lot of the day on 10 meters, but I was in and out of the shack. But I thought I heard you up there at one time. I thought I went across you. Yeah, well, why don't you go work some more stations, Bay 73s. Thanks much for the QSR, information. N9AMI, you can tie the ribbons on it. WA0FDV.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, and I'll leave you with this. We had a Yak 3 souped up Allison motor. The uncle was flying it. It'll do 450. He did 450 in it. Anyways, silver airplane, silver class unlimited airplane. And during the, let's see, this was it 99 or 2001? Anyways, it was a little ways back. And the uncle had a structural failure and yawed hard left, taking off as the gear was just going up, and cartwheeled down the runway. And that wing broke off and went right past the canopy, and there was a line on the canopy right through his neck. If it was any closer, it would have, that would have been it. But he walked away from it. Plane was a wreck. Actually, he rebuilt the airplane. But yeah, so it's a and that was the year big bucks. He had everything set up. He had a mechanic flown in from Michigan, paying for the guys, everything, and to sit there and tweak the airplane on the engine that he built to try and win the silver class. And if you won the silver class, you get to go automatically into the gold. He wouldn't have won the gold, but that's how it is. Racing's like fishing. You got stories. You missed the big one. Anyway, you got to have money to go fast, and everything breaks. Catch up with you, John, and I'll keep an ear out for you on 10 meters in the future here. WA0FDV, it was good. N9AMI.
Okay, good night, John.
WA0 station, I'd like to work you if I could real quick, if that's okay, John. This is KD0EZS, Matt in Western Kansas.
Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
Thank you, John. WA0, I didn't get the last part of your call. My call is Kilo Delta Zero Echo Zulu Sierra, and the name is Matt, Mike Alpha Tango Tango in Tribune, Kansas.
Okay, there's another station that came up there that called you. I got the K of your call and I got Matt. Got your handle. What's the call again?
It's Kilo Delta Zero Echo Zulu Sierra. Kilo Delta Zero Echo Zulu Sierra. Roger.
Okay, Roger. Got it that time. KD0EZS WA0FDV. Well, very good, Matt. Name is John Alaska Hotel November. We're located in eastern North Dakota, about 10 miles west of Fargo, here on the northern plains, Glenn.
All right, John. Very good. Thank you. On Houston, North Dakota. I don't have the suffix in your call. I got Foxtrot something. Is it Delta Victor? Delta Victor? I didn't catch it.
Yeah, Fox Delta Victor. Willie Alpha Zero, Fox Delta Victor. Fox Delta Victor.
Very good. Well, thank you, John, for letting me work you. We're running a 32V1 here, and a 51J4, and a downboard about 50 feet, and a D104 microphone. That's about it. Pretty basic. You got a great signal here. You're about 20 over S9, and John there in Nevada, he's running about 10 over S9. So nice strong signals tonight. I've enjoyed listening to you guys' conversation. Back to you, John. WA0FDV KD0EZS.
Okay, well, KD0EZS WA0FDV. You're in the clear of the whole transmission, so not a problem that time. Very good on the 32V1, 51J4, dipole, and D104. I'm running a multi-Almac AF67 here, driving a pair of 4400s. Power is about 900 watts peak out to a horizontal loop, listening on the Collins 51S1. And the mic is a condenser mic at AKG P220. Take it away.
Okay, well, it's been a beautiful job for you. You guys have been armchair copies the whole week. I'll let you go, John. Thanks so much for letting me get you in my log and 7-3, and I hope to work you again soon. KD0EZS on the high plains of Western Kansas. Have a good night.
Okay, 7-3. Good night, Matt. Nice to have met you and work you too. WA0FDV is clear, and take it away, John.
All right, guys. Well, I'm good. I'm glad you got that done there, Matt. Good deal. Good deal. And you're cranking in here, John, from North Dakota. It's a real good signal, man. So very good. Yeah, I'm sure you. I'm gonna call for one or two more. That's about it. I'm gonna be done here. So that is gonna be it for me. So this is N9AMI operating from Silver Springs, Nevada. Anybody else need a contact for the rally or just a contact? N9AMI. Okay, add 2 in there, and let me take NA7RH. Go ahead, buddy.
Okay, John. Well, we talked quite a bit, so I'll just keep it short. Nice to hear you on this evening. Nice signal down here in the Phoenix area, and still on the old 60Q5 sweep tube special. 8236 modulated by 460, 25 Sapella push-pull. Anyway, just stopping by, I think. N9AMI, A7RH.
Okay, bud. Well, good. I'm glad you jumped in there, and I always recognize your voice. Not that it's really anything different, but I don't know why. It's not a bad thing. Just putting it out there. Sweep Tube Special always is cranking into in Nevada, no problem. And good deal. I got you down there, bud. And thank you for the contact. I'll send it back to you for one more time. NA7RH, N9AMI.
Okay, very good. Much in the whatever it is, rally this evening. Just listened a little bit on 10 meters earlier, and but anyway, catch you later on the AMI. Inline AMI, NA7RH, 73.
Okay, and if you're logging anything, BC610, the usual, R388, and a quarter wave vertical. So there you go. N9 AMI. There was somebody else in there. Go ahead.
N9 AMI from Victor Echo 6 X-ray Japan. Do you copy, John?
Well, of course I copy, Tim. Very good. And it sounds better than the other night, man. I guess the band's a little bit better, a little bit longer. VE6XJ N9 AMI.
Yeah, N9 AMI from Victor Echo 6 X-ray Japan. Yeah, you're booming in here tonight. You're 10:15 over 9. Very nice signal. I've been reading the mail here for the last half hour or so. Once again. And Matt is in there. Very good evening again to Matt. I was up on, or down I should say, I go up, on 40 meter AM earlier and had a good QSO with EZS there. And he was really coming in very well up here. Oh, that's what's wrong. Okay, 1, 2, gotcha. I'm just monitoring myself on the TS990, but to get a decent signal strength with the antenna off, I have to put just a little piece of wire in there, just so otherwise it's fairly faint. Anyways, yeah, it's kind of surreal actually. I heard your signal on there, and I thought, I'll go check his YouTube channel, see what he put up there, and lo and behold, I'm sitting here on your video that you posted yesterday, and a half hour into it, and there I am watching you talk to me. So, it's a bit of a Twilight Zone moment. N9 AMI, the E6XJ.
Okay, P6XJ and 9AMI. Well, guess what? You'll have another one. But I'm running the high-end camera here tonight. And so I think, well, it better look a hell of a lot better. Usually I'm running these webcams here, but I do have the nice Panasonic HD camera that I would use for past aviation events and all kinds of stuff like that. So got that sitting on the tripod and just hit the play button and a little remote in my lap and just messing around with that. So, but I'll have to, I just can't upload it. I've got to convert it and do a little more doodads on the editing, so for YouTube, or else it'll cry and take days for them to convert the darn thing. So, but I'll do that tomorrow. I'm not going to do it tonight, but it should probably sound and look better, especially with the audio on the thing. And of course, you sound better tonight anyway. So now, you know, you might want to tell everybody in the world, aren't you like pretty much, you moved up pretty much to the North Pole now? I was telling Gary, I talked to Gary on the phone, and I says, hey, listen out for Tim, because he's looking for us. And I says, you know, he said, I think he said he knew you moved. And I says, yeah, I think he told me, you told me you moved 600 kilometers north of where you were. And I said, holy crap. He's like up in the North Pole. So anyways, but I know you've got a prime location that you like, and nobody to bother you, so it's pretty cool. I bet you it's really nice up there, man. Anyways, I just had to tease you a little bit about that, Tim, but you sound good tonight. You're just cranking in here. VE6XJ, N9 AMI, back to you.
No, you just keep on getting stronger. N9 AMI from VE6XJ. You are peaking 25 to 30 over 9
Woo!
On that last over. Just at the end there, you really picked up. So, quite impressive. Oh dear. Yeah, well, definitely quite a ways north than I was before. I'm not quite at the North Pole. But, yeah, getting up there. It definitely is no man's land. And they
say, yeah, I'm about, actually I'm about 800 kilometers north of where I was before in Bragg Creek.
Wow.
So, I'm just located just a little north of Peace River, Alberta. And, that's in the northwest corner of the province. So, that would be, just a little slightly, if you know where Fort McMurray is, it's on the western side of the province, but it's about the same latitude. So, it's up there. And, not as far north as where my trap line is. So I have a trap line which is on the Northwest Territories Alberta border. A place called Charles Lake, which is about, well, it's pretty much right on the territorial Alberta border in the very, very far northeast corner of the north of Lake Athabasca. And I've been trapping up there for, oh, goodness me, 25, 27, 28 years, I guess. So, and that's a fly-in location. That's really remote. So, I fly in from the town of Fort Smith in the Northwest Territories with a ski plane or a float plane. It's about 100 kilometers from the nearest town. Fly in there, and that's really remote. And I love it up there. Actually used to live up on the trap line for 11 years. This isn't quite as remote as that. This is out, it's out there. And my nearest neighbor is a mile away to the north and to the south, and the nearest neighbors to the east and the west are 10 miles. So, and I've got a half section of land, about 320 acres of forest, and, just super quiet. Actually, I was just out loading the fire in the workshop, and I was coming into the house, the coyotes and the wolves were howling in the distance, so to give you an idea what the country's like. It's, beautiful, beautiful place. I got spoiled when I lived up on the trap line at Charles Lake there. I got spoiled. When I'm up there, my nearest neighbor is 50 or more kilometers away, and my trap line is 250 square kilometers in size. So, I got used to having space. And great on the video. That's awesome. I look forward to seeing that. The audio was a little light on this one. It's definitely got the point across, so really neat to see you doing that, and I like your shack. It's looking good. N9 AMI.
It's not really that great. Yeah, V6XJ N9 AMI. Well, you're very kind on the shack comment. It's definitely, I like to call it studio, shop, shack, whatever. But it is what it is. It works. I'm not not really going to put up fancy tile on the walls or anything like that sort of thing. Some guys do, but I do. I did put a little Pergo type flooring on the floor here, and that's it. Make it look a little bit nicer. But the wood workbenches and whatnot, it is what it is. So if I got to add to it a little bit, if I get something else, then that'll be it. I do have a basement to this building. 25 feet down, a guy built a bomb shelter here. Well, he thinks it's a bomb shelter. I mean, it's a wooden top, but all the sides are cement block filled with cement floor. So I guess if I put a lead roof on it, I'd probably be good to go. But I keep saying I'm gonna open that up down there and sheetrock it, put some more lighting. There is power and everything, and put some radio gear down there, and it'd be like a bunker of doom or something like that, and maybe just put I don't know what military gear. I don't know, but anyways. So that's an interesting thing. As I got to be careful if I put a broadcast transmitter up here, I'd probably have to put some extra 4x4 shoring down below just to be careful. It is good construction, but you know, those suckers, 1,000-pound transmitter, that's a lot of weight in one spot. So, but the 610, the 400 pounds, the floor seems to handle it fine. So, but you're talking double that plus anyway. So that's the deal with that there, Tim. But yeah, Gary says hi. I'm surprised he's not on, actually. And Joe also. Joe, you know, you heard him maybe last night. Yeah, you heard him last night. But it was rough. So, and we said nope, that's going to be it. Because I think you were there. Am I having a brain situation? Maybe not. Senior moment. I'm too young to have senior moment yet, Tim. But I'm glad the 610's making it okay. I did look up all that negative peak limiter stuff. And maybe I'm going to have to do something. I do see the light popping on here, but I've kind of retweaked a few things, and I am getting better positive peaks, but the negative peak light will come on once in a while, which I don't think is bad. It really isn't bad. I'm kind of equaling both. So, and the scope looks pretty decent. It's not flattening out too much. So maybe I'm just going to leave it as is, but I think I would like to build one of those because then it's no worry. Call it good. But I am keeping a pretty close eye on that. And like right now, I mean, that was 65 on the negatives and about 99 to 100 on the positives. So if I just kind of keep this level, that's perfect. It's pretty good. Now that P brought it up to 99 right there, but on the negative. But yeah, you know, I don't think you can get too you get too anal about it. You know, you're chasing ghosts all the time. I'm not running a AM commercial station, but I also would not like to lose a modulation transformer because you know how that is trying to find that stuff. It's around, but if you do find one, good luck shipping that. It's not light. So, but anyway. What else? Yeah, I'm kind of winding down here, but I'm glad you chimed in, man. I'm glad you chimed in because I think I'm about done. But I'll go around with you again and see what else you got to say there. And very cool on the trap stuff. So I'm assuming you've got some nice pelts around there. Now I'm picturing you. I don't think I've seen a picture of you, but I'm picturing you with like one of those. You know, you've been trapping for so long. You've got the warmest gear. You know, nice. I don't know what bear pelt, caribou or something like that. Elk. You're wearing all that kind of stuff, and I'm not laughing at it. That's cool stuff. I've never done it. I'm a hunter, but I've never done any trapping or anything like that. So that's cool stuff, Tim. VE6XJ N9AMI.
KA7WOC.
Oh, KA7WOC and N9AMI VE6XJ. Oh, goodness me. Bob. That's right. Yeah, Bob. Very good evening to you there. Good signal. And your signal's holding up there, John, no problem. So, very good. Well, no bear pelts or anything like that. I've definitely hunted many bears, but not big on the, for a trapper, I'm not big on the fur thing. I have a Wolverine coat somewhere here, but I really not big on displaying the...
I want a Wolverine hat.
The trapping industry has really gone to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah.
It's pretty much a novelty pastime now. It's really not a money-making, industry like the way it used to be. When I first got into it, you could actually make
you could pay, it paid for itself and more, but now it doesn't even pay for itself. It's a money-losing proposition, pretty much always. So, anyways, and you'll find out, well, when you next time you talk to Gary, say hello to him for me. I keep on on Friday night, I'll have to make a point of getting in here and say hello. And on the negative peak limiter thing, yeah, they're very handy. It works very well. I've got one in the 4-1000 transmitter that I built up, and I just built one last week for the 811 rig, and it works extremely well. The modulation the negative peaks never go above 98% on either. And for the diodes, I just ordered up some, they're just Chinese diodes for KV at 2 amps. They're only like $7 a piece or something like that. And they work extremely well. And the hardest thing to build up is the power supply, which is, I find about 50 to 60 volts if you're running about 1200 volts on the plate, you need about 50 to 60 volts for the negative peak limiter supply. So, but all the instructions, like I say, are on that site as far as calculating what voltage you need, etc., etc. So, anyways, pass over the call. And I'm flying on the bunker of doom there. That sounds neat. I've always wanted a bomb shelter. In high school electronics shop, we had a bomb shelter in the basement of the electronics shop. And I converted that with the electronics club. I was the president of the electronics club, and we converted it into a secret radio room. And we used to eat all our lunches down there and work people on the CD and the ham radio. So there you go. I always wanted a bomb shelter. I need one soon. Okay, how do you do that, Bob? Boy, that's pretty cool. Anyways, you know your call. Go ahead, Bob.
Z6XJ KA7WOC with N9AMI. Well, very good. You have a great signal in here into South Whidbey Island, a little north of Seattle. And running my 4400s here, parallel 4400s modulated by 813s. And 6B4G speech amp. Good to hear you guys out here. My wife and I just got home from a music show in our little town here. You know, we're a bedroom community here of Seattle and Boeing, and average age around here is in the 60s. So we do have a little wine bar that plays, well, they bring in music on Saturday nights, and we had some great music tonight. And being the rally weekend, I couldn't wait to get home and see who was still on the air. Didn't hear anything on 40 meters, but here you guys were here. So good signals, and we'll pass it over to John there. N9AMI, KA7WOC.
Yeah, KA7WOC and 9AMI with Tim in the background there. Well, it's always good to hear you, Paul. You always have a fantastic signal down into Nevada, and I always like hearing you on the air because just good quality AM sounds for sure. So glad you got in. Yeah, I'm kind of winded down. My voice is about shot, and I haven't been on, you know, crazy like I used to in years past, and just kind of more leisurely operating. But I guess I've been chatting it up pretty good tonight though. So I did a little 10 a.m. Earlier today, and that was fun. And of course I visited 15, worked a couple guys in Minnesota, and 20 meters. I called CQ for quite a while on 14286, and I was actually went on the Apache Lab here rig, and I'm looking at, I'm just waiting for the sideband guys to come on and start bitching at me, because it's happened before, of course. And I'm like 10K, and got the amp going and whatnot, and nobody's coming back, and I probably, and nobody complained. I was trying to stay in between everybody, which was cool. I mean, nobody said anything, and in years past they have, and I've moved around, and I know a lot of guys go up above 300, but nobody was up there. It was busy as all get out. And then I did one more call and get a C something, I forget what his call was, Iceland. Guy come back from Iceland on a 7610. So that was kind of kicks, because I don't think I've ever worked Iceland on AM, so that was cool, even though it was 20 meters, but that was a lot of fun, so I got a kick out of that. And why not? Okay, I'm going to send it up to you, Tim, and I'm going to go once around more, and then I'm getting out of here. I'm going in the house, shutting things down, shutting the camera down, and I'm going to call it good, I think, for this one, for tonight anyway. And Tim, yeah, definitely, drop in on a Friday night. And I'm usually, if something's up, shoot me an email, because I usually have the phone glued on me half the time, so I'll get an email, especially if you just want to get on one night during the week or something, see if I'm around. I'll get on and talk with you if the band's open. VE6XJ and KA7WOC in the group here. Over to you, Tim. VE6XJ and 9AMI.
And 9AMI is from Echo 6 X-ray Japan with KA7WOC. Yeah, sorry for forgetting your call there, Bob. You know the tip of my tongue. So, anyways, you got a great signal in here. Your 4-400s are doing a superb job, and you were 20 over 9 on that transmission. John, your signal is going down a little bit, but you're still 5 dB over 9, so I can't complain.
You shouldn't complain.
A real treat. I was on 40 meters earlier there, Bob. I gave a call, must have been around 9:30 or so, and I talked to
A lot of QSB.
I forget his call, I got it written down, but in Illinois, and really had a very nice stable band, and it was amazing that 40 meters was
A little bit on the crystal filtering here. It helps.
At that time of the night, I'll have to make a habit of getting on there. And turn on your show.
Sometimes.
That's right on. It's good to get out and do those things for sure. Nice to get back on the ham radio now. And there's lots of activity, that's for sure. It's been a real treat. Oh boy. I heard you on last night talking to Robert from the Zoom. And I broke in a couple times. But unfortunately, I didn't realize until I came back into the room that I hadn't switched over my audio cable to the bridge. So I wasn't calculating. I was putting just a carrier out and no one. I was frustrated. I was like, well, why isn't anyone hearing me? So there you go.
It is getting time to call it. It's getting a little rough.
That's the, say, two 40-meter transmitters operate from a separate room there outside. The transmitters are in this room, and then I have a little studio receiver, a station on radio, so the noise doesn't pollute the signal. And it takes a little bit of, I suppose, to operate it properly. modulation meter here for the DC610, and typical thing. I'm getting 99% negative, and I'm only getting 80% positive. And that's the best I've ever done, I think, with this transmitter. It's really frustrating. I gotta spend more time on it, see if I can figure it out. It would be nice to get it modulating fully. I could be hearing so much better. I'd be getting another, better part of 150, 200 watts out if I could fault this system. Anyways, I'm kind of in the same boat with you and John. I'll pass it over to Bob, but I think I'm going to bow out after this one, and I'm going to go to shower and hit the stack here. It's coming up, 11:30 Alberta time, so that's way past my witching hour. KA7WOC, the E600.
ZE6XJ, KA7WOC. Well, very good, Tim. Well, I'm glad I caught you two guys here before you both checked out. Yeah, it's 10:30 my time here, but I'm an early riser. Whether I like it or not, I'm
Same
always
here.
awake really early, so this is getting to be late for me too. Both guys, I think you're both running 610s here. Great job on that, and no problem hearing either one of you. John, thanks for all the work you do there with the AMI business. I appreciate looking at your websites there. And I'm a lazy guy. One of these days I will actually get a number. I don't know where they're at anymore, but they got to be really, really high. Anyway, I had another comment here. Oh, Tim, and when last night when I was talking to Robert, well, my 40-meter transmitter is a single 250 TH, and I use a Viking Ranger for the speech amp, and also
That's what I'm doing.
the exciter on the thing. But my Ranger drifts so fast that I have to stand up and get within eyesight of a frequency meter, and then tweak it back down, because within the 3 or 4 minute transmission, I can go up 5 FM.
Wow.
I tried to hook up a DDF to it today, and it was I failed. So we'll try something tomorrow, but eventually I've got to get a different exciter for the 250 TH. I use 803s for the modulator. The whole modulator circuit there in the handbook works well. Can't complain about it. The only thing I complain is I drift so bad when I'm on top. On the ground now, I've got a cook for 7290, but nobody's down there anymore. Everybody's up higher. Robert was up at 95, 7295, and boy, it doesn't give me very long talking with a drifting VFO like I got. Anyway, I'll check out the full front of my rack. WOC, and maybe I'll find you either on the Collins net or on that Friday night that you guys do. KA7WOC.
Okay, K7WOC at 9 AMI. I am running, using a Ranger here for this 250 TH 610, speech amp only, in place of the BC614, and I'm using the VFO on it for this transmitter, and I don't have a drift problem at all. It's rock solid, and that's why I'm using it, because those modules kind of suck. And there's people who say, oh, theirs work great, but I've tried it, they suck. It's just not, I don't like it. And so anyway, I got this from Bob up north, and this is how he ran his, so I grabbed the Ranger and one that was clean and working, and got it all wired up. And The only complaint I have is I did the audio mods and all this. I'm using a D104 modified electric element in it because I'm not a D104 fan, but it works good with the converted element. And that's great, but the VFO is touchy, especially the first 5-10 minutes. I think it's just my touch. I mean, it is very sensitive. This baby, it wants to go. And that's the only complaint I have. I've used it on 40, I've used it on 20 with this thing. But there's just, I mean, I think, and we don't have to get into this whole thing because we'll be here for 8 hours, Paul. So it's got to be something that's, and you know what the hell you're doing. I know that. It's got to be something in the unit that's doing that. That's crazy. It wouldn't do it normally, you know, without being hooked into anything. But I don't know. And yeah, the DDS VFO thing, man. I've got some experience with that, and. There's a Chinese one that's installed in this converted CB I have, and it'll do all HF, but of course it's just the CB, so it's 10 meters. That's about it, and it will. I can hear 12 meters on it and stuff, but you know, it's just the circuitry. But it was a real pill to figure it out, to get it installed. And the thing of it was removing the proper stuff and not removing too much, but. We're talking CB with the PLL and all that kind of stuff, so that's not what you're doing there. You got a simpler circuit there in the Ranger. So I'm probably just going way over the top on it, and you're probably just sitting there, yeah, okay, whatever. So scratch all that, Paul. We'll do it some Friday night, and you're always welcome in. I don't really get in the Collins net too often. Occasionally, I will. I'll record it and put it up on the YouTube deal, but I don't get in there too often as far as transmitting. But of course, Friday night AM with the boys, the Idaho Blues Brothers. That's pretty good, the Idaho Blues Brothers. I will, you know, jump in, man, if you hear us on there, and Tim knows too. So it'd be great if we get a good band one night when everybody can just get on there and we can just. Screw around, because that's kind of what I like doing, just what we're doing now, just talking, and not necessarily radio talk, just about other things, like, you know, Tim's talking about trapping, and he's gonna get me a Wolverine hat. Right, Tim? I'm looking for my Wolverine hat. That could be pretty. I'd wear it too. I would wear it. I don't think I'd wear it in the middle of summer here, but I would wear it in the wintertime. All right. Just having some fun, and good on all. I'm gonna send it back to Tim, and he's gonna. You guys can clear it out. I'll listen out, and I'm done, man. I'm done. VE6XJ and Paul, KA7WSA. It's been a pleasure, and up to you, Tim. N9AMI.
N9AMI is the group VE6XJ. Oh, very good. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend a Wolverine hat down in Nevada in the summertime, that's for sure. It was actually in Nevada that I got my first real interest in trapping, believe it or not. I was down there with my family as a teenager. I was about 14 years old. And I was reading Last of the Mohicans at the time. That's the book, King Hannibal Cooper. And I was at a KOA, a campground, and there was this mountain man. He had a little stand, and he was selling fur hats and deerskin pouches, and he was telling me all about the trapping he was doing. He was part of a group called the William Mountain Man Association or something like that. I've got a card around here, a postcard that I got off of. And that was my first real interest in shopping. So there you go, that's the Nevada connection.
Cool.
So, anyways, signals are holding up amazingly, but, you know, they're bound to change here sooner or later. And fight on your VFO there, Bud.
Yeah, I could hear you drifting, definitely last night. Not as, you didn't go out of a band, but you got close there a couple times, I think. So, I got a chuckle out of that. But that's, that's the old drifty stuff. Yeah, there's most likely some resistors or something that needs to be changed out, or some regulation with the power supply or something. It's automatic. I'm using an old Heathkit VF1 with the BC610 here, and it's pretty stable. I'm pretty happy with it. But I do want to build eventually. John there sent me a couple years ago an article from the QST magazine that shows how to convert and build a second amplifier stage for the BC221 frequency meter, which, if you know, is probably a very stable DFO. Just needs a little bit more power to get it to drive the rig. But I've got a couple of those frequency meters around, and that's going to be a project one of these days. I actually dug out those schematics here a couple weeks ago and was pouring over them, and I got started on it. So one of these days. So anyway, yeah, very good evening to you both, and I look forward to our next few shows down the road here. And good luck with the AM rally. We'll be on here tomorrow, likely making a few more contacts, and I'll probably get the rig going on 40 meters again tomorrow evening. So you guys enjoy and have a great sleep. And I can just imagine, John, your voice is, I can hear it. You've definitely done some talking today. You've been well used. So, 73s. And over here, Bob, and we'll let you have ribbons on
I'm well used, yeah.
We'll be heading that way. VE6XJ. Yeah, 73s.
VE6XJ KA7WOC. Very good, Tim. Good, solid transmission here. Dan hasn't changed at all to me. Well, I've been into 3 or 4 of the Johnson VFOs, in the Valiant and in various Rangers I've had over the years. I hate digging into that VFO. And I'm not so sure I'm going to actually get into this one.
It's a pain in the ass.
I may just put it over on the shelf and use something else for the exciter for my 40 meter rig. On the 4400s here, I actually use a Viking Navigator, and its VFO is comparable to what's in the other rigs there, the Ranger and the Valiant. But I haven't had any problem with this one. It's been stable, stable enough anyway. Never get any major drifting problems, but I sure do on 40 meters. So I'm going to try to get that DDS thing working tomorrow. If not, I'll try something else. And one way or another, even if I'm using the Drifty Ranger, I'll probably do some 40 meters tomorrow. So we'll look for you guys there. And okay, with that, I'll just say 73, good night, and glad I caught you. KA7WOC.
Yeah, very good night, Bob, and good night to you there, John, and we'll be listening out for you guys soon. 73s, VE6XJ.
Yep, good night, guys, and enjoyable, darn enjoyable. I had a good time. Off to bed I go. N9 AMI. Alright guys, well that is the AM rally. Hopefully it looks a little bit better on this camera. Sounds a little bit better. I'm just using a shotgun mic. You're hearing a speaker that's down here, or actually no, you're hearing the speaker that's up here right at it. And 2 good guys, a bunch of other good guys. It's a nice time. It's a good group of guys on AM, and hope you enjoyed it. And we'll catch you down the line. All right, take care.